Hey guys, welcome, Jenny Martin, ethnobotanist, and today I'm in the beautiful Hampstead Heath, one of my most favourite places in London. Do suggest a visit if you can make it here, if you are in London. Loads of really old vintage trees, really fantastic. And I'm just by this oak and I wanted to talk to you about it as a wild food. So we're in the middle of the foraging season and there's some fantastic wild food around, and as long as you're following the SSC code, which you can find on my website underneath the conservation section, about how to harvest food sustainably and safely, and also with certainty that you know what you're eating, you can do things like this. So here we have Quercus petraeus. So this is a sessile oak. So we have two native oaks in the UK, so the sessile and the English oak, the peduncular oak. And the way you can tell them apart is with the sessile oak, you've got here on the leaf, you've got what's called a petiole, which I've talked about before in some of my vlogs. So the petiole is like the stem structure that is between the twig and the leaf. So in the sessile oak, you've got a petiole, and then with the nuts, or you could say the fruit, the nut, there's no stem, there's no pedicel that's holding that to the twig. Whereas in Quercus robur, so the English oak, the acorn sits on a long stem, and it looks almost like you can imagine like a pipe, an English oak and the Englishman smoking a pipe with a long stem and the acorn on the end. And these guys, so many of us know exactly what this is like from our childhood. So the acorns that sit in a lovely cup were a real staple food of our ancestors. People know that it's maybe a really successful food for wildlife and pigs particularly, and also birds like the jays would take the acorn and plant it somewhere, or squirrels, and therefore are one of our main species that help the regeneration of this tree. But these were eaten by our ancestors. You need to just make sure that you process them correctly. So you need to take the acorn and take it out of the cup. And boil it in water and discard the water, and boil it and discard the water about 3 times to get rid of the tannins, because there's lots of tannins in oaks, hence it was used for tanning leather. And then what you have inside the shell is a really nutritious nut, so full of protein, full of fats, and you can roast it, and this is after you've boiled it and thrown away the tannins, and sprinkle it over your cereal or just have it as a nice snack. So acorns, good wild food. Do make sure you process them correctly. Don't take all from the trees, because our jays and our squirrels rely on them, or rodents, once they hit the floor. And enjoy.